Lidia. Hey again. How are you today?
Hey, Anca. Still excited, still nervous. So, as we said in our first podcast, it's really a newbie experience for us in the podcast world. So, don't judge us too hard. But both Anca and I are on a mission. So, we're sharing in this series what leading as you, whatever that means, is for women in the corporate. And we would like to take our private conversations out there to you, if this resonates, so that you can find your way to lead as you. So that's my little bit nervous, little bit excited explanation. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. Spring is here outside. Very nice weather in Sweden. Also very nervous for our second episode, but I'm very happy to see that we have received some good reflection from our women watching our first episode, and I'm really looking forward to our next episode, which is today. And because today we talk about something that no one puts on LinkedIn, is really about the tough part, the inner work, because in order to lead as you and to start to understand who you are as a leader, we need to start digging a little bit deeper in your values, wounds, vision, dreams, and it becomes more uncomfortable. So Lydia, you are the expert on this. What inner work means for you?
Yeah, well, expert. I've suffered my pain, let's put it this way. So that's where my expertise starts. Indeed, this is not the shiny stuff, because, kind of, I feel that really so many women, if not to say majority, have been conditioned to what a good girl script looks like. Until the end of your working life and maybe life, and that we've been sort of sold this script of how you have to be, how you have to show up, so that you are happy and successful. But at one point, I think most of us realize that the script doesn't work, and really that's the place of discomfort, where, or maybe even pain, where something in us shifts and we realize, okay, this doesn't work anymore. So I really have to find out something about myself that will really give me my energy back so that I write my own script now. And I'm happy to share, kind of how it worked for me and how it started. The inner work doesn't finish, by the way, it only starts at one point. So for me, it was about really finding myself in the middle of what my career coach called the existential career crisis, when I was following the script of perform, deliver, show up like this. But at one point, I realized it cost me too much. Really, showcasing myself as a dominant young lady, sometimes even judged. I remember this word of aggressive Russian woman. I was like, okay, that's what you call assertiveness now. Fine. But then really trying to, to see when I am, what the crisis was, is that I was offered the next level role, but I was really like feeling sick of it, and I couldn't, kind of get myself into the office. And I realized I need to talk to somebody about this. And that was the first time I talked to a career coach. And she said, La, okay, you really are in a tough position when you've got this track record. It really leads you straight line to the next role. But if you are seriously like getting sick from it, you really have to change something and review, okay, what is the next thing that will give you your energy back? And for me, it meant giving up like all the stability that I had before and reinventing myself from scratch, redefining myself, and then also my professional track. So that is how it started for me. What about you?
Yeah, and for me, in a way, similar. I have been fortunate to work in many companies, and I always, without actually realizing, in my early career, I was fortunate to do a lot of innovation, and it just I had this kind of a happiness and the joy and the freedom and then with the career progressing, moving to other companies where maybe that part of innovation was not so much required. So I was put more into another role, despite of of recognition, of hierarchy, of the payment. I was not happy. I was really struggling, and I was always trying to find a way to find this happiness of innovation or of technology or, being who am I. But that made me to realize that, career, recognition of a title, money doesn't make me happy, doesn't really make me happy. So I was really, really struggling, thinking, what do I need to do? So at that time, I had to take some, actually, as you did, a little bit of a redefine who am I and what makes me happy. And actually going back to basics in a way that, like, I want to be in, for example, I want to look for a company which it doesn't really matter the title, but it matters more the values, recognition, who you are, where you are happy, you have the freedom, you know, that's where I have actually starting still very incipient about the most important is what makes you tick
Yeah.
and how you want to be seen and how you want to act. But then older you grow, you become more aware about how you lead, about the impact you have with the people. Also world is changing and is opening and you learn more about yourself. You learn what is important for you in life. You realize several things. So I really kind of also with a coach, someone asked me, where do you see yourself? What do you want to do? What's your dream? What's your passion? And then I start realizing that it's not really about, be this career girl that wants just a title. It's something else that, I want to change the world. I want to make something different for the community. I want to give back. I want to, with my mission, and we were joking about my million women in tech, because it's something that I want to give back, and I want to do it really from kindness and supporting. And that's where I think the click happened. You don't, and this is for me, true leadership, how you are seen when you are not really driven by very material things.
Yeah. Interesting. What you made me now think of is when we define, what picks up our energy, like defining a mission that we want to stand behind. I love this. And this is, what the coach has done to me. This is also what I offer to women. But also I find it really important to pay attention what takes our energy away, actually. So I'm sure, kind of we all have these moments, but I remember very, very vividly a moment when on a Friday afternoon, I was leaving the office super late because I had this terrible conversation with my key manager, where he was telling me that, okay, you have to position yourself differently and basically like remold yourself. And I remember walking out of that conversation, really going to the bathroom and crying. And when I came out with my eyes red, a woman met me and she's like, you cannot cry in the office. Like, this is not good for your, your positioning. But I left and I reflected about this for the whole weekend after. And I realized also the moments of pain, when we're about to cry, when we have some really difficult meeting or conversation or feedback, are really also showing us something that we really, we experience a lot of energy loss because of. And that moment helped me realize that, it is super important for me to really stick to who I am. And then, I started a lot of definition work. So also paying attention to the negative emotions, even though none of them are positive.
And now you trigger me another thought, because I think how many of us have been, we seem the same. We are in a meeting where you do not really agree with what is said there. And then how many of us dare to stand up and say what they really think, accepting the consequences of that? And in how many of us, in many cases, actually, they just choose to stay quiet. Yeah. And then this staying quiet, it's actually eating up you alive more than maybe standing up and saying what you think about. Yeah. And this is something that I'm sure that everyone actually, maybe not even women, it's probably very general that people, and it's not about really not agreeing but it's really because I'm not talking about small things. I'm talking about really big principle things where, which really, because that's when you react so badly, because it affects your system of values, which you cannot really go accept it. So closing eyes is really, really painful when you need to pretend that you are accepting things that are against your values.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what you said is so true. I so agree that the silence kills the
Yes.
energy of that movement that we want to have and change something, however big or small that is. But it's also true, and there are studies about that women are more penalized for saying that something is wrong than men are, and that's exactly when we're, being labeled too emotional, one workaround, unfortunately, that still we need in this world, is that whenever you disagree with something, how you can position it, more nicely, is that it's not wrong to you, but also this is going to affect our company, our business, and da 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 da. Unfortunately, the world is still requiring women to think more about this. But one tip: if you strongly disagree with something, think about how you can relate it to the business, the mission, the strategic priorities, yada yada.
And now you made me laugh because you just really opened a memory from my early careers. I was really struggling with a decision. I give an example. I was really struggling. It was against my beliefs, my dreams, and I was looking for allies. And we will talk maybe in another podcast about how you create, but I was really looking for allies to support my idea,
Mm,
to help me to move my point of view forward. And I remember that, going to that man, saying, I need your help. The answer I got, he said, you are too passionate about it.
mm,
This is something that never goes away from my brain, because in my brain, I'm translating this. You have been emotional. You are too loud. You, you really want to make your way, but you are too passionate. So this, for me, while the passion is always when you are looking for leaders that have charisma, that they are passionate about things, in this time it was better to be passionate, and I have been qualified always of being very passionate. And now going back about who I am, I'm actually a very passionate person. I
yeah.
really, in the moment I believe in things, I really see them happening. I really, my eyes are shining, and I know that I can do it. And the moment I believe and I have this passion, I can drive things. And this is coming through immediately.
Mhm.
So, in a way, to kill this passion, because he didn't want to help me with that,
Mm.
really affected me very badly. No.
And I mean, this happens. This is true. But I'm just thinking, and we'll talk about this more in the allies episode. But really, perhaps this is just not the ally, because I also, and I'm sure you have these examples, but I can share one of mine. When I talk to somebody that a topic that I felt is really addressed in a wrong way, and I said that I have not been sleeping on the wrong decision to be taken, that's where one of the people that later became a fantastic sponsor of mine said, wow, you really care. And so for me, it was also, in a way, a sign of really, with the right people, the type of emotion that we may have for something will really elevate us. But staying silent, keeping yourself down all the time and not talking, not expressing your emotion, is actually absolutely the killer of everything, of all your energy that you can use positively.
Yes, yes, yes. And actually impacts even your health
Mm,
and well-being really badly, because you can really get into depression. And I'm sure that it's like a spiral. It's a negative spiral. More quiet you are and more you take in and internalize instead of speaking it up, is really
yeah.
dragging you down. And that's a place where it's very hard to go up again. It's a lot of pain. And again, I don't want to talk more about today, but it's for the next episode.
Yeah, and I even, kind of, I have statistics for everything on women, I think, in the workplace. But for this one, I know that it's almost 60% of women who feel burnt out because they have to mask really all their emotions. And even if you think about it on a very body, like, organism level, when we are emotionally charged about something, we have the hormones in our blood. And when we're suppressing them, really we're putting our immune system down to really just keep down. everything that we actually feel. So one question, one tip is, how can you smartly think about how can you truly express what's your experience regarding a certain thing that you disagree with, maybe. So that's something I really wanted to share. But we have in every episode a few tips that we like to pass on to the women listening to us. And for this episode on the inner work, what are the tips?
I think we have 2 tips in this episode. One was actually to write down a fear of leading as you, meaning stability, security, what is this fear? And the second one is actually what I call a true to me filter for decisions, meaning looking the next time when you have a meeting, a project, or another opportunity, before saying yes to everything, ask yourself, does this align with the leader I want to become? Or I'm just playing a good girl? Write down, reflect it, and of course, we can talk in our session if you will be the one that you will be part of the coaching session.
Cool. Right. And that's that's the invitation then. We want this to unfold for you. So please share with us in the comments or in DM, if you prefer that, what has resonated out of this episode with you. Really, we want to have this conversation with all of you. So please share. Feel free to share this episode also with somebody you feel needs to hear it. And also we invite you to register for the final event, where we're just going to sum all of it up of what we see works for women to lead as you. And as Anca said, one of you will have a chance to have some real life conversation with us. So we can't wait to see you there. And next time we'll talk.
Yes, next time it's about the cost of being real you, or about being, who you are. And let's see what makes you not to be your real you, and how difficult is that. So till next time.
See you
be
soon.
you, be who you are. Till next time, and talk to you soon.